Okay, what's up everybody? It's Valkerion once again, and I'm here with another Gundam game, surprisingly, or not surprisingly if you know me. This is SD Gundam Battle Alliance. The demo was actually released earlier today here in Japan, and I believe it'll be coming out on the North American or international stores later. I don't know what the delay is, but they dropped the demo, and I was like, you know what? I'm curious about this game. It keeps popping up on my feeds. I like Gundam. I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna check this demo out. So as you can see, this is the PlayStation 5 version of the game, so it's pretty well off in the performance department. It runs well, and I haven't had any issues just playing it in these opening missions. The demo is about an hour and a half, depending on how much you rush, what difficulty you're playing on. The game is fun. I actually had some fun with this little demo. It definitely wasn't what I was expecting it to be, and it kind of leaves me positive but also longing for what could be with a Gundam game. But anyway, let's just talk about it a little bit. So SD Gundam Battle Alliance is of course a Gundam game, but it is an SD Gundam game. You might be wondering what SD is. SD is like, I believe it stands for super deformed. It is basically small Chiba-fied Gundams. They're tiny, they're cute, they have big glowing eyes. It's pretty fun. It's pretty SD. It is SD Gundam. They usually relegate these to like model kits, and there have been offshoot TV series, but there hasn't been a game for SD Gundam in quite a while. So I was curious to see what they were going to do with this game, and it's kind of a story that they've done before, just in terms of story. In the demo, they start you off as a pilot who's just going through the 1-year war, and you get transported to a mysterious place. In this mysterious place, you have to battle and correct the timeline, so to speak. You have to correct errors in the timeline, the database of time or whatever, something like that. And it's stuff like you'll be going into the Battle of Odessa, and you'll be fighting, and instead of, I don't know, Rumble Rawl showing up, the Barbatos shows up. It's pretty interesting, it's pretty neat, and it's a decent premise, but a not untoo familiar one. It's kind of a premise that they've gone to in lots of these kind of games, where they have mixed Gundam universes. They just kind of say it's a mysterious melding of universes and you have to correct it, blah blah blah. So it basically gives you a mission where something's wrong, like this. This is, in canon, a mission where Tekkadan, our Iron-Blooded Orphans, shows up, but Leos from Gundam Wing are in this for some reason. So you kind of go through it once, you see what the error is, and then through some story mission, you'll eventually have to fix it and, you know, play another mission where instead of Leo showing up, it'll be oh my gosh, I'm forgetting what the grunt units are called in Iron-Blooded Orphans, but the Greys, that's it, Greys. The Greyses will show up instead. So it's a pretty basic story so far. I don't know what the twists and turns will be later, obviously, but just as a premise, it's a pretty common reason to bring all the Gundam universes together. In terms of gameplay, that's probably where I was most surprised. I wasn't really expecting much out of this game. I thought it was just going to be like a pretty loose button masher, and I was down for that. And it kind of is. It's kind of a weird hybrid of Dynasty Warriors and Devil May Cry, if that makes any sense to you, if that means anything. So what I mean by that, it has launchers and like follow-up attacks and cancels, kind of like Devil May Cry, but it has a pretty basic layout, similar to Dynasty Warriors. You have melee attacks and you have a special attack. You also have 2 sub-weapons, which can be like ranged weapons or like special attacks. You have a super attack, you have abilities that are specific to each type of unit. You have cancels. It's more beefy than I expected at a glance of this game, and it kind of leaves me curious to see what the potential is later down the line for this game. Once more units get unlocked, once more Gundams get unlocked, like what kind of crazy stuff can you do? This is one of those games where I think someone will have fun making like a combo video for no reason. And yeah, I kind of look forward to that. But it also felt limited in what it could do. There were a lot of like mechanics, or more mechanics in this than I thought there would be. Like you have partners who do super attacks, and it's pretty neat. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what the meat of the game will be later, but the potential that you kind of get an idea of in the demo is pretty interesting. But other than that, yeah, it has me curious in terms of the gameplay to see where it goes, because they've been putting out small vignette videos on Twitter and on social media of this game and like some of the combos that you can do potentially, and I was like, oh, this might have some juice to it, so I'm curious. But one of the things that I have some gripes with this as well, just from the demo. One of the biggest gripes I had was very early. They showed a pre-rendered cutscene and a cutscene with a pre-rendered cutscene screenshot in it. And playing on PlayStation 5, I noticed that the screenshots were, and the pre-rendered cutscenes were definitely not 4K. They definitely weren't 1440p upscaled. These were like 1080p, crushed blacks everywhere. They were pretty low quality, which is understandable because this game is coming out on the Switch, and it kind of felt like the Switch is the main platform for this game. And it's just kind of being released on PlayStation 5 and 4 and Xbox, I believe, and Steam with in-game upscales. So the in-game stuff looks great, but the pre-rendered stuff didn't. So that's kind of a trade-off I noticed, and definitely did not leave a good impression on me immediately. But once I got playing the game, I actually started to enjoy it, and I kind of forgot about it. So take that with a grain of salt. I guess it depends on how much they rely on that. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm enjoying this. In terms of unlocking stuff, that's another thing that I enjoyed. It seemed like the progression will be pretty interesting. You unlock mobile suits through doing story missions, and you get like blueprints. So maybe you have to do a story mission multiple times. Maybe it doesn't seem like it. It seems like you just have to do a mission once, and then you'll get like the blueprint for something. Then maybe you'll do another story mission featuring that mobile suit, and then you'll unlock it later down the line. Yeah, it's not unheard of. This is kind of a standard fare thing. And there are also abilities and passives that you can unlock and equip. So there's a lot more juice to this than I thought there would be. I thought this would just be like a very simple game, and it's kind of not. Another thing I'm kind of disappointed by is the amount of troops on screen is pretty low, and I think, once again, this might be a Switch caveat to keep the performance up. It seems like the PlayStation 5 had no problem dealing with this. And I'm also playing with graphics preferred, so it has ray tracing on somewhere. I don't know where. And it seems to be working fine. Like, I didn't have any dips. I didn't have any issues. So, yeah, it seems to run great. It seems to play great. I'm curious to see how it goes in the future. It seems like there's definitely meatiness to this, and I'm very curious to see where it goes as a Gundam fan. Not so much as an SD Gundam fan, but I'm curious. But yeah, the demo is interesting. I'm curious to see where this is going to go. I'll be picking it up most likely. It actually drops next month, end of next month, like around 25th or so, I believe, 28th maybe. And yeah, this was a small preview of the demo for SD Gundam Battle Alliance. Oh, one thing I should mention, I didn't get footage of it, is that the main story kind of plays out in, visual novel style, so it's just like character art talking to each other. It's not great. It's about what I expected, though. This game doesn't feel super high budget, but I did like some of the in-game cutscenes. They were pretty well done. Like, you can see like Leo's like making a firing line and like shooting. It's pretty interesting. Like a mobile suit goes overhead and the camera kind of pans. It kind of left me wanting and thinking about how man, this would be cool if these was like full-size Gundam, not SD Gundam. But anyway, yeah, this was a little quick blurb about the demo. This is like literally 10 minutes after I stopped playing the demo. I enjoyed it. I'll be picking this game up. I think it'll be interesting. I don't know if this game will be like amazing, but I think I was left more positive than I thought it would be. Enough so that I'm most likely going to pick it up, unless I see or hear something very negative about it that sways my opinion. I think this demo was more positive for me personally. But yeah, that was it for this video. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a sub if you're down for more Gundam stuff. I hope to talk about this game, maybe review it in the future when it comes out. But that is all for now. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Please have a good day, stay safe out there, and enjoy Gundam whenever you can. Later.